we have to go back.
Decided to shelve the conversation about going back to the US and our finances until after the wedding. The US is what I have to do. It's not what I want to do right now, especially since I left my entire family.
I actually don't know how these two are actually still together, to be fair with you right now. It actually blows my mind. Because when it comes to decision making, these two are terrible at it. Reason being is because these two literally wait and wait and wait, and then they make decisions at the worst time possible. He's sitting here saying that, hey, I thought after the wedding things would be what? The funny thing is, she goes and says the same thing too. You don't marry someone knowing you're withholding information that's going to be crucial to the future of your relationship. That doesn't make sense. That is not healthy.
I didn't do it on good terms.
The US, it is so hard, but I'm still doing it for 3.5 years. You're here for what? And you're saying that you're mentally not prepared and you just want to go back.
That's not to make money, to come back here and do this in a better way.
You know, you would think that finances would be a priority in a relationship, you know? And you would think that trying to find a way to make sure that you're both able to live a sustainable life would be a priority, because if you start to live a life where you are struggling for money, you're struggling for paying the bills, or you're just struggling with, you know, just those things that are key to surviving in this world and living in this world, those things can definitely be a massive strain on a relationship. A lot of people break up because of financial problems, you know? And sometimes it's sad because sometimes those people end up breaking up with somebody who really made them feel like the best person in the world, but sometimes that happens, you know? And it's crazy how for her, this whole situation of not understanding James's point of view around the finances is actually quite crazy. There's some people in this world, they want the life, but they don't want to put in the work that's needed for the life.
After wedding, James will make more effort to figure out how to live in here.
I'm going to make.
You see what I'm saying? She says it too. She just says it a different way. After the wedding, you thought that James would make a better. Listen, him being married to you isn't going to change how your lives are going to, where your lives are going to be, or how he feels about your financial situation. At the end of the day, he wants to make sure that he can provide financially and make sure you two got a very comfortable life. You know, and to do that, sacrifices have to be made sometimes, you know? And that's just the grand scheme of it. And this guy has already made a big sacrifice by basically leaving his family, you know, and now his family aren't even speaking to him because he left them in a situation where they couldn't even really have time to recruit, you know, someone to take over his role, whatnot. Man just left like that at the snap of Thanos. It's crazy.
I'm going to make sure that you feel like you have a life and not feel like you're stuck in a box.
How though?
I'll figure it out.
Figuring out right now to live in Indonesia.
To be honest with you, I think that's the biggest problem, isn't it, in their relationship? It's always about, figuring it out. They don't ever seem to really have a plan, but then at the same time, I've noticed that when James tries to set a plan, she's not really about that life, you know? There's always a dispute from herself whenever James tries to have a plan for, you know, the financial future, you know? It's always her that basically makes it a whole lot more challenging. So, like, look at it this way. She's complaining about the fact that she was in the USA for several years and things just wasn't working for her. But the funny thing is, those several years they were in the USA, fair enough, she didn't see James enough because he was working, and fair enough, she didn't have a car to be able to go and do certain things because James obviously had the car. So therefore, she was homebound most of the time. So therefore, she just didn't really have a life in the States. And I can understand how that can mentally drain you, how that can put some people in a position where they start to feel depressed, their anxiety starts to increase, or anything that involves their mental health. So I understand how bad that is. But let's look at the situation that you two now have here in Indonesia. You have a situation where, okay, you're now able to see each other all the time, but money is a struggle. But the only issue is that when it comes to the money being a struggle now, it's only a struggle because James is unable to earn. But it's not a struggle in terms of the fact that her parents are still able to support them. But of course, you, as a man, James does not want a life where he is supported by her family. He wants a life where he supports them. And this is the thing, the reason why she's comfortable, in my opinion, of being in Indonesia is because of her parents. They have been making life easy for her. And therefore for her, she's like, you're making life easy for me, and you're also making life easy for our relationship because I'm not actually my man. In the States, yes, my man was out here making money of his own, but I wasn't seeing him. Listen, like I said, sometimes in life, sacrifices have to be made, and the sacrifice here that I feel like she should make is allowing James to go back to the States, or they both go back to the States, get the money right, get their finances right, and then come back and get Indonesia at a further time. To be fair, this is what they should have done before they moved to Indonesia in the first place anyway. But clearly that didn't happen because both of them were clowns in that right. All I know is this: if she wants a man that's more than happy to be lazy and more than happy to, you know, accept money from her parents and not be that bothered about being a provider, well, I mean, he may not be in the same country in you, but I hear there's a boy called Brandon with Mary in the Philippines. Was it Thailand? Philippines, right? Either way, it's not too far away from you. You know what I mean? Maybe you should go and steal Brandon off of Mary. He'll be more than happy, and also on top of that, he will allow you to feed him. But boy, that Mary girl was not lying. She said that she wanted to feed Brandon. She wanted to make him big, and boy, did she succeed. And it's funny because these two have no money, but they got time for but he's got time for PlayStation, also play PlayStation online, and also put on weight, and also look after a child. I don't know what Mary and Brandon doing for money, but boy, if you ask me, it's probably Halolo supporting them or something. I don't know. Either way, the point is that James is clearly a man that is not happy with accepting charity. He wants to be a man's man, and I can only respect that. And in that position, I feel like she's the one that has to make that sacrifice rather than him. It's either that or you just don't be together.
If we cannot agree on our decision, I just don't know what's going to happen in our relationship. I've been thinking about it, and I want James to apply visa for Angel to come to America to fix paperwork and money, but leave my family again already sucked.
That is crazy though, man. Imagine, yeah. So, my sister needs a visa now. Yeah, we need to get a visa so she can at least visit me. Now, listen, respectfully, I understand. You know, she's obviously considering going to the States, but she doesn't want to be disconnected from her family again, just like that. Now, to be fair, people did raise the question that the reason the sister was so anti-James is probably because she was jealous that she was unable to get to the States. So, listen, there is also that part there where obviously the sister's looking for the benefit of trying to get to the States by obviously using James in some format. I definitely see it, but it does make sense though for her to want to be able to allow us to come and see her, you know, so therefore she doesn't feel so alone when she's in the States. And to be fair, respectfully, it does make a lot of sense. If I was in James' situation, I'd be like, listen, let me see what I can do. I may know your sister's I may not like your sister, and she may be a bit but because I want you to come back with me, I'm gonna do what I can to make it work. But that's if I can afford it. Because remember, their biggest issue right now is money. So even if they go back, it will take a while for them to obviously get the papers right. No, to get the money right for the papers. So there is that too. And to be fair with you, that could take some time. That could take a year, maybe 2 years. It really depends on the process, right? And by the time that they've got the money and the process has gone through for the sister to be able to visit them in America, who knows? Maybe by that point, they would have got their money right in America that they're now able to actually go back to Indonesia. So to be fair, the process could just be a waste of money and a waste of time. It really depends. I understand it, but hey.
The smallest, tiniest amount of communication in the last 3 years, and you haven't even given me an answer on what it is we're going to do. And apparently now you're making plans for other people.
Just imagine that, making plans for other people. It is crazy.
Come visit to somewhere you haven't even told me you're willing to go back to.
But again, I do understand why it's pissed. Your sister's been saying this, and that, and now you want to what? Are you crazy or what? But like I said before, the problem with these two is that they don't know when to let things slide. Just be okay with it. Sacrifice has to be made. If the sacrifice is trying to get the sister to America because you're both going to America, then I get it. But like I said before, that can also be a waste of money because, boy, you two may end up coming back sooner rather than later. I'd say, to be honest with you, it would probably be a better idea to get a visa for the sister if you knew that you two were going back to America for at least the next 5 to 10 years. If you knew that you're going to be going back for at least 5 to 10 years, fair enough. But if you're going there just to get your money right and whatnot, and you could be gone for maybe just 3 years, it's probably a waste of money, to be honest with you. So therefore, that would raise the question: what does the sister really want the visa for? Is it really to be able to come and visit her sister, or just to be able to get that privilege to be able to go to America at any given time? You see what I'm saying? So there is also that question too. But let's not dive in too much into that one. All I know is this: is that I don't think that the visa for the sister is really necessary, to be honest with you, and it's going to be a waste of money. And you know, as I said before, and the thing is, James doesn't even know how long it would take him to earn the money that he needs to earn, because he needs to go convince his family to allow him to work again. They're already pissed at him anyway. So you know what I mean? Our days, yeah. They need to put that idea in the back burner. It's not even relevant right now. That's the grand scheme of it, I think. Nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts and we can talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.